welcome to our first um, uh, roundtable, first episode. So first introduce our group. We are a team which created by students from GSC who are interested in classical Chinese landscape and literature. And then we wanted to actually provide a wide platform for scholars who get interested into this topic, and then and share materials about this topic. And then we have a couple of events will coming up this spring, and um, about what's such as the roundtable, and then we will have our cookout or any picnic when we get back to campus. So about this event, um, oh God, this is so interesting. Okay, about this event, the rephrase it's a roundtable series which is happen bi-weekly or monthly. Provide a literature review over some of the essays from ancient times, and then we also wanted to talk about a lot of topics such as the traditional culture, and then or any other extended topics that we found interesting from the essays. So today we will have three essays, but probably two because Zhao Qing is somewhere and then applying her visa. So Jesse and I will start first, and then we'll think about that. We'll probably continue the Zhao Qing's essays next time. So yeah, if anyone have any problem with that? Hello, hi. Okay.
I think we have another newcomer. So yeah,
Oh really?
just keep going.
Okay. So let me just. Probably gonna just stop my Zoom, and then Jesse will take care of it. If it's gonna block the computer, the internet. So okay. So today my essay is about painting review of London New Residence. The Chinese is 林顿新居图记. Um, so the author is Shi Yunyu. It's from Qing Dynasty, and then he's actually from Jiangsu province. So he actually write about gardens of his um, owned um, property. And here's a famous poet and bibliophile from Qing Dynasty, and then who has collect like 1,200 works. Actually, because in Qing Dynasty we found that people really at some point, especially from Qianlong and to Jiaqing, Qianlong and Kangxi, that sort of regime, and people found they were really interesting, that kind of collections, all of the paintings and literature review. So that should be a kind of a famous time when people write a lot of review about a painting or so. And then here's one of them. And then, so we probably need to take a look at the locations of the garden or Lindun new resident district. So it's from Jiangsu province, and it's eastern part of China. And then currently in Suzhou. It's in it's actually in Gusu district, which is an area with a lot of old residents, and then relics and sort of actually people actually protect this historic atmosphere really well, and then people can and visitors today can actually take a tour or visit in those old gardens or so. And so our target is located at number 1 to 3 in Xinjiang Alley. It's it near the rivers, and today they still have, and then they rename it as What's the name of it? Yeah. Pan Shiren's old residence. So it's actually the same location, but they just use a different name because of the owner. So this is um, how the garden actually looks like. But this painting is from Zhang Jian. It's another person who paints the this garden because a lot of drawings were lost during the historic disturbance or so. So we can take a look at it and how it actually looks like, and then so we can and now we take a look at how the garden actually build it up or how they can transfer from one hand to another. So this garden later was purchased by Pan Shiren, purchased a part of the Fengshi Garden, nearly near the London Road, and he repaired and then built it into the new residence to support his father Pan Yizi, and um, they were both I think they were both officials in the Qing dynasty near the emperor, and then they are very famous, and they're like one of the biggest family um, in so it's in Jiangsu area. So according to the documentary record, the painter of Qing dynasty painted Han Fengshui Garden successfully include Zhang Shen, Wang Xuehao, Zhang Yin, and many others. And then the third picture of Linden's new residence, which is this one, um, by Zhang Jian. It was I think it was the only, I think it was the most famous one. But only Zhang Yin's work have survived in history. And then they're now in Suzhou Museum, and then the rest of the works are known, like nobody know where they are. So probably next time when somebody has the chance to go to the Suzhou Museum, they would have chance to look at the drawings, the only drawings about this garden. Okay, so the picture to the left is Pan Xuan with his grandson in the garden. So they have this kind of little pavilion, and then with all of plants around. So as this one show, they probably stay here, and then with very lively gardening as well. But it's very interesting that this person Zhang Yin used like a glue to show the flourish garden with those plants, because we all know that the tree should be green instead of blue. But it's very interesting that why he chose this color scheme. Um, so let's start with the essay. So it's at the northeast corner of Suzhou City. There is a Linden Lane uh with the Luanjia Alley. Oh, there's a typo. Please excuse me. So it's called Luanjia Alley, and then people named the lane New Jia Alley. So this used to be a Fengshui township in which Fengshui Garden was located here. The garden was originally the seasonal residence of Gu's family. And during the Kangxi regime, the Gu Qian, the manager of the Imperial Claim Court, repaired and renovated the garden, and then recorded the prosperity of stone, mountain, pools, buildings, and the garden. And then later, this courtyard became the property of Tang's family, but the descendants couldn't preserve it well. Later, the garden was owned by the current minister, Sir Pan Zhixuan, who is actually Pan Shi, and he's because he styled himself as Ku Kui Tang and Zhixuan. So and then he actually is very famous because he won the first place in the emperor examination in 50th year of Qianlong regime. and he became the minister of revenue in Jiaqing regime. So actually, he served for a couple of emperors, um, and then his father, as it was his father. So the minister's son, Pan Gongfu, which is Pan Zhengyi, styled himself as Gongfu, who is also the grand secretary of the palace court hall. Paint the Linton new resident picture for the garden, and then asked me as this person, the author, what Shi Yunyu, because they're friends, um, to paint to write a review of the painting. And I look at the paintings and appreciate the prosperity of the garden and that the clear water surrounds the house, flowers and bamboo cluster and flourished. The pavilion stands in the middle and backed by mountains and facing the stream. It is called Fengshi Pavilion, which is the pool for phoenix. Because Feng is in Chinese is phoenix, right? For those of you who are really familiar with that culture. Okay. So in the next sentence, the leisure room is surrounded by books, pine trees entangled as dragons. Chui Chou Chui residence was given to the room. The Chou Chui is actually the emerald dragon. The shape, including the shape and the color. Uh, and then the next sentence, the buildings are towering as mountains, higher than the surrounding woods, glowing flowers and then in the breeze of the new year. And the flowers are like white snow. So the building is called Mei Hua House. It's called plum blossom. Actually, it means plum blossom. And then the pink wall stretch below, and then the gallery meander, which received its name Ning Song Path, which is a Roman gallery. The embankment enclosed the spring, and there are bridges to pass through, and the rapid spring water crush and then tumble the rocks. The sound was as significant as the waterfall. It actually described the sound of the watering, and then how to actually the layout of the garden. And then in that deeply secluded room, uh, no noise can be heard, and it's called the sacred stairland. And then spring spurt from the rock cracks, and the taste is as sweet as good wine, which is called Yu Spring. It's called Jade Spring. The orchard window opens to the east with an abstract glance to moonlight, so it's called a plate near the moon. It's actually very romantic. The room cleaning the water with plentiful calligraphy and painting storage, called it mist wave painting the boat. Um, the bamboo and the wood cluster in the green ocean. Called the green shade. The significance of the gardens also ends here. And then and the rest of after the author actually described how actually about the family again, back to Pan Gongfu again, and then to give it a closing to the description. But I've watched literally honor and prosperity, relentlessly spending energy chasing the faith and wealth. Though they have exquisite gardens and pavilions, some can't find the core cradle Gongfu from the noble family with good access to the official career near the emperor will rise to the top and promote quickly. However, the mountains and valley enamored him, so he looks for poems for drawing tirelessly. There should be a joy and ease to serve him, unknown by the public. Scholars construct the poetry into the villain collection and make this little piece of work attached to the end. But actually, the essay would end here. Just provide some kind of admirers to the owners again because the right for the paintings, right? And then there's a little note which is very interesting to look at, which is about Yanju. It's actually not related to any birds or anything. It's about it's a way to describe leisure room. So in the Book of Rights, it says in Song's, it's Confucius leisure room. Zhang and Zigong and Yan Yu assisted and toured with them. And then later in the Han Dynasty, the Zhang Xuan actually noted that people respect from the court and live in the leisure room, so it received the name like this. Yeah, that's all about my my sharing essay, and thank you for listening. If you have any questions, let me know. Then yeah, I will explain it a little bit more if I can.
Yeah. If anyone has any questions for Jessica, it's the time. Or I will just share my screen and start my article.
Yeah, I'll pass down to you.
Okay. Did you guys see my screen? Okay. Okay, so my article is named as 洛阳名园记 Travels Through the Distinctive Gardens in Luoyang. And this is actually a kind of like serial articles done by Li Gefei, and it is written by Li Gefei in 1095 AD. Denotes the compositions, structures, and the details of the 19th distinctive gardens in Luoyang. So it has 19 gardens of it. And so Luoyang is the west capital of Northern Song Dynasty, and which is now this garden appears to be a representative archive of the private gardens in the central plain of China. So this article's name is 富正公园, the garden of Fu Bi, which is the Duke of Zheng. 所以富弼是郑国的这个国公，我们可以翻译成 Duke of Zheng， 然后所以是富正公，然后的园子，所以叫富正公园。Okay, so pretty short introduction of the author here. Li Gefei, styled as Wen Shu, is a scholar from 章丘，山东章丘这个地方的一个学者，之前也在朝堂上面工作 ，serves in the court in Song Dynasty. Notably, he is a student of Su Shi and the father of the famous female poet 李清照。所以这个人还是非常值得去被记住的，因为跟他有关的人与我们小时候的这个学习息息相关。Okay, so the story happens in Luoyang, which is the west capital of Northern Song Dynasty, and to remember the Song Dynasty, the Northern Song Dynasty has 4 capitals, which is the north one in Daming, Handan, and the east one is in Kaifeng, which is in Henan province. The south capital is Shangqiu, and the west capital is Luoyang. Okay. Very short introduction of Fu Bi, which is the owner of our garden for today. Fu Bi is styled as 燕国 and is titled as the prime minister during the reign of Zhao Zhen, which is the Emperor Renzong of Song Renzong. He was awarded the Duke of Zheng, which is the Zheng Guogong, by Zhao Shu, the Emperor Yingzong of Song Dynasty. OK，其实为了去找这个他复辟的这个郑国复郑公园地址在哪里是有一点难度的，因为没有一个非常准确的资料去显示它到底在哪个地方。It's really hard to find a very clear location of the Garden of Fubi. So which makes me think of another thing kind of related to Fubi is the 耆英会 which is the elderly elites gatherings. 然后这个会议呢，其实是当时复辟以及那个司马光他们从朝堂退休以后，然后呢，这一堆人呢，他们其实是都属于同一个政党的，一共有12个人左右吧，这些可以理解成为老家伙们。然后这些人所在的政党其实是与王安石是站在对立面的，但是当时那个仁宗时期在大行推行王安石的改革政策，所以就是他们这帮人呢，其实是在朝堂上面受冷落的，所以他们退休完了以后都移居洛阳，然后组建了这一个耆英会。耆英会其实在这个古书里面，就是在这幅画里面的序有被提到过，就是说红字画出来的，showing in the red-lined parts，一旦西极，然后士大夫老而贤者于韩宫之地，那么这个韩宫其实就指的是这个复辟的这个宅地这里，然后置酒相乐，宾主凡十有2人，继而图行妙绝僧舍，时人谓之洛阳耆英会。所以这个会议当时是非常大的。然后在这个图的里面有一篇诗是王拱辰写的，然后呢叫耆英会诗。这个诗非常长，然后有一段写的是在左下角，铜驼坊西福善宅，然后呢修竹万个龙青椅，然后天光台高为百尺，下挑凛凛如平幔，花王千品，然后尽书圣，风光秀画三春晖。其实这里指的就是在描写这个复辟它的花园。那么其实它的花园就是在第一首诗里面，就是在铜驼坊这个位置。So this poem by Wang Gongchen is really telling the exact location of Fubi's garden, which is in Tongtuofang. And let's see where this is at. So the Tongtuofang is circled by the red line, and which you can see is kind of very near to Luoshui, the main river cutting through the city of Luoyang. And this is the kind of like a royal court here. And it is really close to the other elites or nobles gardens and places. For example, like Shaoyong is with his Nest of Harmony, and Sima Guang with his the Garden of Solitary Delight, and also Bai Ji for his Li Dao Fang. And we will talk about them all in later sessions. And if you see on the right side, and the squares marked with green color means they're the Fangjian, which is kind of like a neighborhood mostly taken by nobles and elites. And another really interesting fact is that Luoyang is actually separated by Luoshui, Luo River, and you can actually notice the lot value kind of descends from the center of Luoshui to outwards. So which means the Fubi's garden is actually has higher lot value than you can say Baizhiyi's 吕道坊. So it's a very interesting fact to take notice. So let's go to the main essay. 洛阳原池多因隋唐之旧，独富正公园最为静僻，而景物最盛。Most of the gardens in Luoyang were built referencing the old sites left over from the Sui and Tang dynasties, and Fubi's garden was the only one that is newly built, along with the most spectacular sceneries in Luoyang. 那么这里有一点很有意思的，就是说，当时北宋的时候，很多这些园，非常富丽堂皇的园子，其实都是通过建在隋唐的旧址上。隋唐其他人，比如说，因为它后面中间有一个金朝是入侵的，所以洛阳当时是被损毁比较严重的，所以有一些新造的园子，它会依据之前的 leftovers 然后去建造，但是复辟的这个复辟的这个园子呢是最新开辟的，整个一瓦一砖都是他新造的。OK， 游者自其地东出探春亭，登四景堂，则一园之景盛，可顾览而得。Visitors shall start from the east side of the mansion, walk through the 探春亭 Quest Spring Pavilion. 然后 Quest Spring 为什么要这样翻译呢？其实在《红楼梦》里面我们知道有这个探春，对吧？其实在《红楼梦》里面探春其实就是翻成 Quest Spring， 就是叹息春天的到来意思。Okay, and climb up the 四景堂Four Seasons Hall and overlooked the impressive scenes of the whole garden. 南渡通津桥，上方流亭。望紫云堂而环右旋花木中，有100余步。走音乐亭，赏幽台，抵重波轩而止。直北走土云洞，自此入大竹中。South to the 通津桥 all-round bridge, and hike to the 方流亭 Jade Spring Pavilion. One can see the 紫云堂 the purple cloud hall, and turn right and walk 100 steps through the trail along flowers and trees, passing the 音乐亭 the tree-laden pavilion, and 赏幽台 the scenery worshipping terrace. You will reach the 重波轩 a double waves veranda at the very end. North to the 土云洞 the earth bamboo cave is a large grove of bamboos. So a couple of things to notice. 方流为什么这样翻成这个 Jade Spring 其实是因为以下几点，就是说方流 is the spring with straight corners， 就是它其实是一个直角的，转弯的话它其实是直角的以直角的一个形态 which also refers to the river of jade with the sayings of the water of jade marks with the straight corners. 它这个也指的是就这种产玉的一个溪流，因为有一句古话说的就是玉水济方流，所以这个只要有方角的这些河流下面就会产玉。Okay, another thing to notice is the 紫云。Okay, another thing to notice is the 紫云 with its direct meaning of purple bamboos, in which the word 云 could be also suggesting the meaning of cloud. Purple cloud in ancient China is the auspicious symbol。其实大家听过一句话叫紫气东来，对吧？就是紫气，它这个见紫气其实是一个见祥瑞的一个东西，一个吉兆。所以这个云有的时候，这个云我们知道它其实是竹林的意思，然后有的时候也通云层的云，所以这里其实是指紫色的云。那么紫色的云就是一个非常喜庆一个吉兆，所以它也是在赋予这个紫云堂一个非常吉利的一个象征吧。OK， 凡谓之动者，皆斩竹杖许，引流川之径而尽其上。横为动一，曰土云；纵为动三，曰水云；曰石云；曰谢云。历四洞之北，有亭五错列竹中，曰从玉，曰披风，曰倚兰，曰夹竹，曰尖山。The cave refers to a footpath made of around 1 zhang length bamboos, with water flows beneath it in some sections. The horizontal cave named Tu Yun, the earth bamboo grove, and the other 3 longitudinally arranged caves are named Shui Yun, water bamboo grove, Shi Yun, rock bamboo grove, Xie Yun, pavilion bamboo grove. And north to the 4 caves, there are 5 pavilions scattered among the bamboo groves, with the names styled as Congyu, Jade Reside, Pifeng, Wind Brace, Yilan, Ripple Spread, Jiazhu, Bamboo Fold, and Jianshan Mountain Fold. And another thing to notice that there's a measurement units using in ancient China is the zhang. If someone says 1 zhang, it's now equals to 3.3 meters. 就是说1丈其实现在等于3.3米左右，所以可知这个土云它用的这个竹子的长度。OK， 稍南有梅台，右南有天光台，台出竹木之苗，尊洞之南而东环，有卧云堂，堂与四景堂并南北，左右2山，背压通流。凡作此，则一园之盛可拥有也。Walk southerly towards the rockery and climb up to the Meitai, Plum Blossom Terrace. One can see the Tianguang Tai, Daylight Terrace, situated at the south side of the garden, with its platform hanging over the bamboos. Overlook to the southeast. On the east side of the bamboo grove is the Woyun Tang, cloud crouching hall, longitudinally mirroring the Sijing hall, and the 2 rockeries are backing towards separate banks of the central pool. Sitting at this place, one is able to have a panoramic view of the grandiose garden. So another note to notice is that rockery means 假山 in most of the Chinese gardens, and they're used because at one time there's a kind of like a fashion of scholars using different kinds of rocks and creating sceneries in their gardens for viewing and competing who has the most special rockeries to find in whatever Nanhai, the South Ocean, or it is an artificial rock stacked mountain, which could be found in most gardens in ancient China as recreational places. And so here are some of the pictures in Shizhiling, and these are you can see there are recreational gardens. They have like caves and ridges, Most of them has stairs on the back for kids or adults to actually play in. It's a great place to for hide and seek. Okay, the last paragraph. 正宫自还政事归地，一切谢宾客宴惜此园几20年，亭台花木皆出其幕迎新将，故威仪恒直，凯爽深密，皆取有奥思。Ever since the Duke of Zheng was retired from the chamber, he has retreated at the garden behind closed doors for almost 20 years. All the sceneries in the garden are constructed with his insights, ideas, and craftsmanship. Thus, the curves and the straights, the opened and the sheltered, all derive from his exquisite composition. 这一段其实就是作者他在说，这个花园它的这些布置啊，其实是都是非常有妙思的。OK，大家应该很好奇，就是说这个花园到底具体长什么样？但不确定你们会不会在脑子里面已经有一个大概的布置，因为它其实很多这些古代这些园林的一些叙事，其实是由，比如说它都是很像一个游览形式，它就是比如说东出什么什么，然后走过什么什么，它就是一个非常experiential 的一个视觉的一个东西，所以对于它的方位其实还蛮容易能就是画出来的。那么这里有一个网上 copy 下来的，然后一个 scholar 他整理出来的一个大概的一个布局。So this is a main layout from a scholar, and he kind of rearranged the compositions through this article, and this is the layout of the whole Fubi's garden. So you can see Sijingtang is at here, and mirroring Sijingtang is the Woyuntang, and the two rockeries, which is this mount here and this mount here. And the Tianguangtan is actually situated on top of the mountain, and which has which will have the panoramic scenery of the whole garden. Okay, so this is my sharing for today. If anyone has any questions, feel free to let me know, or we can have some discussions after this. 如果大家有什么想要讨论或者有任何问题，可以通过这个来问我们，或者有什么想要 share 的东西都可以。
其实刚才有最前面说的关于那个玉泉的那个 J string is actually very common we use across the in the ancient China, because like people when think about water they think about because the color I think, and then the texture it really kind of like mimics the texture of jade, and then the color probably because of the bluish green, greenish something gray or something. So it's like yeah, but it's very interesting that they use the shape like with the corner or something to kind of like represent the I mean in it it's very interesting. But
I was wondering like
thing,
if they really have this kind of river though, like with the straight corners. But like if you look at some jade artifacts like 玉琮, then the cong also has straight corners. So I guess probably anything related to jade has to be straight or has straight corners.
But I think it's very interesting that the water doesn't actually have a shape, like but but the people would actually wanted to give it a shape to it. Like I don't know if because the shape of the pavilion itself, or it's just like the way that he wanted to shape the view like that. Because it seems like I don't know, he has some thoughts um over it. Who knows,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. And then does anyone have any question towards the essay itself, or the um or related topic where you want to share something in common? Then um yeah, just let us know. Or yeah,
Yeah. Or any comments or suggestions for future episodes of
yeah,
our meetings, feel free.
yeah.
Yeah, hi.
Because
This is Gosen. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
yeah,
of course.
hello.
Yeah,
Just-
sure. Greatly appreciate both you sharing such a wonderful lecture, and they are pretty inspiring. I think the first one, just a little comments. I I appreciate actually you showing the maps of Suzhou, and because I'm a map guy, I'm really curious. I'm actually the location of that building, and
Okay.
is it
Uh-huh.
survived through the years, and how's that look like right now compared to
Give
originals? And
me a second. Yeah, let me log into the Google Maps and then I can share that with you.
yeah, thank you.
Um, yeah. Let me see.
I think for the Luoyang, the second one is it will be really difficult to find the current
Yeah, some of
location, right? You mentioned.
yeah.
yeah, a lot of the gardens right now. I mean, the gardens we talk about today actually disappear because some of them in their early ages, and then and last time when we talk about let's see about um Tsinghua Yuan, it's actually because we know that the Tsinghua University actually have one like this kind of take the name of it, but at the same time it's actually located to the northwest corner, um, but it's really relatively near the Haydn district. So actually, it's very interesting that Haydn district received its name very, very early in the ancient time. So yeah, it's very interesting. Well, let me grab it's what's the location? 新街. So it's called 新建 in where? 苏州. Okay, it's actually here. Wait for it to load. So actually the garden is so in Jiaxiang they still have the name of it, and then this is Xinjiang Alley, and then the garden was like here. But right now, I think it still received its name. Let me get it to review. Here it's called Panshi Fuju. So basically, it probably have a like very small, like they shrink the size of the gardens, or they just have the building remains. But currently, it's you can still visit the um the garden here. So if you type in 潘氏 Guju and then type Suzhou, and then you would see what it actually located. And then if it's interesting that people still keep the New Jiaxiang as its name for the alley. Yeah. Does it answer your question, Susan?
Yeah, thank you. I just found that
Yeah.
too. Thank you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it seems to look like what you described in the earlier passage, or just totally different?
Yeah, it's actually I believe that the garden is disappeared, and then only the building received because people only wanted to see, I mean, a part of stories or tourism. I mean, died or anything. So yeah, but it's an unfortunate. But you can still see some of the little alleys over here, and then yeah. Oh God.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, and for the second one,
Yeah.
I think I sent a couple images. I mean, to maps for Loyang. I think it would be useful for you to locate the building as well. I don't know if it's too useful, but you can barely see the underlaying maps of current data, and I would keep looking for that. And yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I saw your
Sure.
pictures. And I think if we could find where the Huangcheng, which is the royal court, was overlaying the old maps towards today's maps, probably we can find Tongtuo neighborhood, which is where Fubi's garden is at, and then we could probably find it.
Right. Because the Huangcheng seems to be west of the current city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there should be a bridge cutting through kind of south to it, cutting through the Luohe, which is the Luoshui, the Luo River. And I suspect that bridge is now called Luoyangqiao, but I cannot be very sure about it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Does anyone have any questions further? Or yeah, we can forward or the materials later, circulate the materials later in the group, and then you can have a close look at it, and then yeah, and then feel free to jump into any maps or any materials when you find anything interesting. Okay, yeah, I mean next time we're probably gonna keep up a little bit more about that. It's completely a free style. I mean somehow we don't have any like very strict format to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. This meeting is pretty free of style, and also
Casual,
it's
yeah, very
recorded.
casual.
So it will be uploaded to our YouTube and Bilibili channel, and we will write a short summary and then post with the link, so everyone can access it later after this meeting.
Yeah. Okay. Final comment?
Yeah. Or not,
Okay.
we will see you guys for the next meeting, but we don't know when because we are returning back.
Yeah, we're gonna returning back to Boston soon. So
Around
hope
January,
to see people.
the first week of
Yeah.
January. So probably the next meeting will be scheduled near to the opening of school, which will be 24th, or the week of the 24th. So looking forward to that.
We probably can see everybody in person, you know, like because
We wish we
if
could have an in person style.
yeah,
But we'll
for those
see.
of who's not in Boston area, we probably can, you know, have a live stream. I mean, somehow connected to it. Very interesting. Okay. We probably will end up here a little bit early today, but and then Zhao Qing will come back with us next time because she's currently getting his visa. I think probably in Beijing, you know. So yeah, just keep looking at it.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks. I appreciate
Merry
it.
Christmas. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Merry Christmas. Bye bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.